What's up, guys? I want to welcome you to Trax News, an organization for the people by the people. The people you see sitting on this couch right now have their own opinions. I don't control them. So they came in to join our organization, and I'm inviting you to do the same. Me personally, I'm not a left-wing guy. I'm not a right-wing guy. And you might hear Democrat Boris say something, and he's a Hillary fan. I wouldn't let Hillary, on my front step. So everybody's got their own opinion. Though I respect him. He's my friend. We hang out. That's the way it should be. That's really what I'm personally about. But you're gonna hear every type of view, every type of perspective, and just on the subject Hillary, because I really resent her. I feel like I feel like she's a deceptive person who, I could see through people. And when I look at Hillary, I know what she's really about. I know who she really is. I know what she really cares about. And how she continues to deceive people makes me sick. But other people might have a different opinion. What are your thoughts, Monica?
I did not like Hillary. I actually volunteered for Bernie's campaign in 2015. She's a power-hungry individual, and she is trigger-happy to go into wars. That's the biggest issue that I have with Hillary, because she actually talked Obama into going into Libya, for intervention in Libya, and that was her idea. Obama wasn't an interventionist. He actually ran on anti-intervention policy. He wanted to stay out of wars, get out of Afghanistan, get out of Iraq, and she talked him into going into Libya. She wanted to go into Syria. She was very happy when Gaddafi died. Her exact words were, "We became so he died." And she changes position depending on the public opinion. She doesn't have core beliefs, and she's that's all the issues that I have with her.
Veronica, what are your thoughts?
I also am not a big fan of Hillary, honestly. Also Bernie Sanders supporter. I remember when Hillary and Bernie were going head to head for the primary. Yeah, she did cheat him, and I was really upset. I mean, I think I had a conversation with Monica about how in my previous job, someone actually just kind of started talking about politics. Long story short, it was like, oh, if you're a woman, you should be pro-Hillary. And I think it's not about like man or woman. It's like, does that person align with my
identity
views?
politics?
Yeah, I don't agree with that necessarily.
She weaponized identity politics during her run. She basically said that if you don't support me and you're a female, you're a sexist, and they accused Bernie of being racist and sexist, and they threw every accusation towards him. And I feel like that has been going on since then. And nowadays, the weaponization of identity politics is the reason why we're so divided as a society, because people feel like your identity should matter more than any other things that make you you. For example, your background, where you grew up and stuff like that. And
So fuck Hillary, exactly. Boris, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, to me, it's Grandma Hillary.
Yeah.
I worked on the Obama campaigns both in 2008 and 2012, so I was an Obama supporter as opposed to a Hillary Clinton supporter in 2008, and Obama won fair and square. Then in 2016, I was going more. I like Bernie, but from my political background, the way that I saw things playing out, I sort of figured that Hillary Clinton was going to win the nomination, and granted, as we were saying, Bernie was sort of screwed out of the nomination. I mean, granted, Hillary got a few million more votes. So that being said, I was supporting Hillary, but I really wanted her to move a lot more left. And in order to do that, I was supporting her to choose like a vice presidential candidate. At that time, Elizabeth Warren, who is now a lot of people on the left are saying she's a sellout and this and that. But I was hoping she would choose another woman. I thought two women on the ticket, especially one that comes from Secretary of State background, the high political office, and then the other one who comes from an education, a very liberal background. I thought them two would have been a really good combination to win. But Hillary Clinton ended up choosing Tim Kaine. When she chose Tim Kaine, I basically said, there's no chance that she's going to win. And, but I supported her.
Sure, I'm sure. No, I understand. But let me briefly tell you why she took Tim Kaine. Because Tim Kaine, you could put in your front pocket and take him out whenever you want Tim Kaine out. Or Elizabeth Warren's going to be here. She's going to be over there. Hillary wants to control. She's a tyrant. Jenny, your last thoughts here.
So everything that we've been saying here is kind of like what's been going on right now. Like, you know, I kind of wanted Bernie to win, like, but like, and now we have Joe Biden and Kanye, but Joe Biden, and we're like we're trying to see like who Joe Biden's gonna choose. He said it was gonna be like a woman, but it's like we need to see what kind, like who, like maybe we'll be disappointed again, like who knows, you know what I mean? And also how like Joe Biden said, like, if you don't vote for me, like you're black, like that was like how like people were saying how like if you don't vote for Hillary, you're like sexist. I mean, but like it's a little bit different because Trump is kind of like, you know,
It's a big fraud.
I also feel like Hillary refuses to analyze her mistakes, and even she came out with a special. I think it was it on Hulu special? There was a documentary where she basically said that that the reason why Bernie supporters didn't vote for her because they're basement dwellers. She's a female and they didn't want her to be a president. She refuses to see her mistakes. She still dismisses Bernie's segment of the Democratic Party as somebody who should be dismissed and should move towards her side instead of Democrats moving more left on economic issues, because they give you everything on identity issues, right? Like Democrats, that's what they do. They do everything in terms of identity politics. They, you know, but when it comes to economics, they don't want to move left. They don't want to, for example, come out in favor of Medicare for all. Like that was, you know, even now, like the official position of the Democratic Party is not Medicare for all. And she refuses to acknowledge her mistakes, and she always blames it on Russia. She blames it on Putin bots, she blames it on sexists, she blames it on aliens. Like, she never wants to fully admit why she's unlikable, and she has zero charisma, she has zero personality. And
Can I respond a little bit? And go
Not
back
yet,
and
not
forth
just
now?
yet, because this is just an intro to Trax News. So in all reality, you know what I'm saying? If you have a comment on your opinion about Hillary, please put it in there. I'd like to see how other people think, right? This is what this channel is really about. You know, just like everybody else, I feel like I know what reality is, but everyone's got their own opinion. I respect that, and I hope you do too. Definitely not a left-wing organization, just definitely trying to find common ground with anybody else. And just one last response. Read the description if you want to join, but one last response and call it a day. Okay?
All right, I don't want to get into a big, heavy debate, but sort of, you know, I think Hillary doesn't have to explain herself. I think if you ask a man to explain himself and any male politician, especially if you compare it to Donald Trump, you know, he never explains himself. He doesn't apologize. So why should Hillary apologize for anything? Why? Maybe because she's a woman and she's should
no
know.
better than Trump
you
did, I
know,
guess,
but the point. Well, I mean,
But she
that's
does
the thing.
come out and blames
Trump
everybody
shits
for
on
her
the floor,
loss.
so she
never
wants to
admits-
shit on the
Every
floor.
male candidate that ever lost to another male candidate came out and then said, listen, I lost because of this and that. That she never does it. She blames everybody but herself, and I don't think we should patronize women. Like, women are capable of being evil, we're capable of doing bad things, we're capable of losing. And patronizing us as saying that, oh, she lost and she doesn't have to explain herself because she's a female is a very patronizing thing
Yeah,
to say.
I would disagree with you that other men candidates who have lost in the past have said, "Oh, it's my fault." I think most of the time candidates.
They didn't blame
I-
Russia
listen,
and
everyone is
bots and
bullshitting all the
everybody.
time.
They
That's what
blame
she
all
does.
sorts of
you.
different things.
Not the